A black kid was found hanging from a tree in Mississippi, and something really doesn't add up about this entire story. Early morning Monday, 21-year-old Trey Reed was found hanging from a tree right in the middle of Delta State University's campus in Cleveland, Mississippi. His body was discovered around 7 a.m. near the pickleball courts. Now, University Police Chief Mike Peeler confirmed the discovery and said that foul play is not suspected. The Mississippi Bureau of Investigation is involved, and Trey's body was released to the coroner for an autopsy. But here's the problem. Almost immediately, family and friends started saying something very different, that Trey's arms and a leg were broken. The coroner pushed back, saying that he didn't see broken bones in his exam, which leaves us with two very different stories, the official version and the one people closest to Trey believe. Now, Delta State shut down classes and canceled events, though no lockdown was issued. Officials said there was no ongoing threat, but let's be real. A black man found hanging from a tree in Mississippi will never feel straightforward. History matters here. Generations of lynchings and cover-ups mean people are skeptical, and honestly, can you blame them? And I don't give my personal opinion a lot on these types of things, but personally speaking, I don't think that a black kid would take his own life in a way that looks like a lynching. That's why this case is raising so many questions. So let me ask you, what do you guys think? Do you trust the official line that no foul play was involved, or is there more to Trey Reed's story than we're being told? Make sure you follow this page, because I'll keep bringing you updates as they come in, and there's going to be a lot more.
As we speak now, the family does not know exactly what happened on September the 15th of 2025. We are seeking answers from Delta State University. We're seeking answers from the coroner's office. We need answers. As of this point, the family of Trey Reed has not even received a phone call from the president of Delta State University and to tell them exactly what happened to their child that they entrusted to Delta State University. As we move forward, we're just looking for answers that a simple camera on the university's campus will answer. There are a lot of unanswered questions here, and the family just wants some answers from top officials at the university and at the coroner's office. Does anyone have any questions? Yes. What do you feel like specifically is the family, and I know it's deeply that's sympathy to your family, what do you feel like specifically does the family disagree with? Well, at this point, the investigation so far, what would justice look like? At this point, justice would look like transparency. Justice looks like a simple phone call from the president of the university with some personalization that this young man that we entrusted to Delta State University, that you care. Yes. I understand you guys are trying to find answers about what happened to Trey, but can you describe the kind of person Trey was? I actually have Trey's uncle, his uncle who's the pastor of this church, and he will come forward and tell you a little bit about Trey.
Thank you. We bring you greetings from Living Faith Miracle Temple Church of God in Christ here in the city of Grenada. And on behalf of Robert Reed, and whom will be my nephew, that's right, and who I've been knowing for, let me get one of my mic, well, that'd be good, use these here, whom I've been knowing for a very long time. He graduated here, I believe it might have been 2 years ago, or maybe going on 3 years now. He graduated. When he graduated, he usually come here, most every other Sunday he would be here to attend the church here. And he was one of the type of young men that he was very obedient. And when I talk to him, I always tell him, he always tell me that he had a plan for his life. And many things he wanted. One thing he said he wanted to be, a truck driver. He wanted to go to college, he wanted to be a truck driver, because that's what I once was for nearly 30 years. And that's what he wanted to be. And he would come here laughing, so joyful, a happy young man. And right now, we are, along with the family here, the Reed family, we just want answers. We just really want answers. Because a young man like that, he wasn't a street young man. You know, sometimes we got people that in the streets and this and that. He wasn't that type of person. He didn't do any of those things. So that's why we are so concerned about what's going on. We're getting mixed information. We're hearing everything on the media. So we just want the truth. That's all we're looking for. Because he was a young man, I really loved it. And so right now, that's what we're looking for. And I thank the Lord for my niece. Thank God for her and all of my relatives that are here on today. So that's about all I have to say right now. I thank you so much for your support and finding out, yet bringing the truth to the light. That's what we're looking forward for. Thank you.
Anyone else have any additional questions? Yes, go right ahead.
Has anyone from Alford County involved in the investigation of this meeting into the family?
No, they have not. No, they have not. And that's one of the reasons for the urgency of this press conference, because the family is getting all of their information secondhand through the news, and we want that to stop today. It will stop today. And the officials from Delta State University, the coroner's office, you will communicate directly with this family and not through the media. And we want answers, and we're going to launch our own independent investigation to get those answers if Delta State University won't cooperate with us, if the local coroner's office won't cooperate with us, and hopefully the state coroner's office will cooperate, and so that this family just will not just, this happened yesterday, February the 15th, 2025. The media knew about Trey's death before the family did. Now, what justice, what right would you communicate with the media prior to communicating with this family as if this young man's life meant nothing? But moving forward ahead, we will seek answers independently from Delta State University and from the coroner's office, and if need be, independent from the state coroner's office, because we need answers as to what happened to Trey Reed. Where there should have been cameras at the university that could easily enlighten us as to what happened in the early mornings of September 15th of 2025. That's easy. A lot of the questions that we have, the answers should be quite easy to answer. Because if this young man was on the campus of Delta State University with all these cameras and all this modern technology, from the moment he left his dorm room or entered that campus, there should be surveillance of all of his actions. And that's what we want. Bring the surveillance, bring the cameras, so that we'll know exactly what happened to Trey Reed. This was actually his first year at the university. Actually, I think he was just at the university 1 month. A brand new student, full of life, eager to be there. So the family wants answers as to how they sent this young, fun-loving young man to Delta State University, and now we're coming with a heinous crime. And as we stand here today, the Reed family, we're not going to point fingers at anybody. We're not going to call anybody any names. All we want is answers from technology. That's all we want, and then we can go to a different narrative. But right now, we're here, the family is grieving, and we don't want to point fingers at anyone. So as soon as the cameras and the surveillance comes available, we can have a talk, but with no cameras, no official report from the state coroner's office, how do you come up with actually what was the cause of Trey Reed's death? And we won't point the finger that someone's trying to control the narrative here, because technology and cameras will answer all the questions that all of us have. Any additional questions from anyone? Okay, go right ahead. The family was not aware of the coroner's report prior to it being released, and at this point, we're not going to get into constitutional violations, because that's not what this family is about. This family has this church here in Grenada. They're pillars of our local society, and we're not here to point fingers yet, but we will have answers. And the possible constitutional violations of releasing Trey's name to the media immediately after this happened is a possible constitutional violation. And we will get to that. We will get to that. But for now, the family is asking for answers as to what happened to Trey Reed on the campus of Delta State University, which should have all forms of cameras and surveillance to answer these questions that this family has. Days ahead. From all indications, and I'll say from speaking with the family, the days leading up to this, he was just as fun-loving as ever. We recently had Grenada Day here in Grenada. He was here with his family, and he was joyful and loving as ever. And that's what he's been remembered for being a joyful, loving young man. And when he went back to Delta State University, he was this fun-loving person. And our question is, what happened? If there are no additional questions, thank you all for coming.
Okay, so boom. So on September 15th of 2025, 21-year-old Trey Reed was found hanging from a tree on the campus of Delta State University down in Mississippi. So now the police chief came out and said that there was no evidence of foul play, and everybody and their mama was kind of like, it was a black boy found hanging from a tree out in Mississippi. What you mean ain't no evidence of foul play? So now I'm breaking that down real quick. Basically, the coroner down there has done a preliminary review of the body, and based on their preliminary review, which means they just kind of scoped the body out real quick, probably looked at the hands, you know what I mean, haven't really done the whole shebang yet. When they looked at it, they just didn't see any defensive wounds, right? So basically the report that came out was like, we didn't really see any like scrapes or bruises or anything that looked like he was probably squabbling. Keep in mind, though, they still got to check homie blood. They got to, an autopsy is a whole thing, okay? So they going to go through everything, inside and out, long story short. So we ain't got that yet. But based on the initial looking at him, they said they basically didn't see no evidence of assault, basically. And Trey's family is pretty much like, yeah, that's cool. We hear you and all, but we're going to get somebody else to look at it. We just want a second opinion, because y'all was quick to be like, oh, ain't no evidence of foul play. And we feel some type of way because the school didn't even call the family first. Like, why the school didn't call the family, right? And so it sounded like the president of the school, him right here, Daniel Ennis, something like that. him. He basically said, like, look, we know what we did was we called whoever was on the emergency contact list that Trey Reed filled out when he started school. So maybe that wasn't necessarily like a family member, but it's considered a next of kin, and them two things may not be the same. But that's what he asked for, so that's what we're doing. Okay, we're doing what he asked for. We gave him a piece of paper. We say, in case of emergency, who do you want us to contact? And so what he is saying is that whoever they talking to, which it sounded like it wasn't immediate family, but whoever they was talking to, whoever they called and communicated with, they was on the contact list. And so he like, we don't know if y'all both sides is communicating. That don't got nothing to do with the university, but that's the rules. That's what we're doing. But now somebody sat up and said that when they did get a phone call about Trey, what they was told was that Trey was found in his room and that Trey had took his own life. So it sounded like after that, the family was like, yeah, no, we finna get our own investigators too. Also said something to the effect of he understand that people think like something racist happened, and he was like, yeah, you know, we don't want our school and racism to be in the same category. Like, we don't get down like that around here. And like, we just trying to give y'all the facts, okay? So we need y'all to take their facts. We don't think that nothing racist happened. Now, we understand that there's emotions involved, and I really want to be clear that it's not just facts and emotions involved, but it's the history that y'all trying to erase. The state of Mississippi has the highest number of recorded lynchings in the entire United States of America, with over 500 lynchings being actually recorded in the 19th and 20th century, okay? And those are just the ones that are recorded. Lynchings in Mississippi got real after Reconstruction, when Black people decided that they wanted economic power and civil rights. I don't know where y'all been recently. It's 2025 and states are racially gerrymandering so that Black people don't have political power. And prior to this election, everybody was talking about how their money was funny and they can't afford eggs. And now all these resources are being taken away from people. And now we are... Okay.
What's up, everybody? All right, you guys, so we are learning more details in the case of DeMartravion Trey Reed out of Mississippi. So investigators did come forward to say that after a preliminary autopsy, they did not suspect foul play. But as more details start to come out in Trey's case, a lot of this stuff does not make sense. The attorney for Trey's family has come forward to say that initially they were not told that Trey was found hanging from a tree. They were told that Trey was found deceased in his dorm room. It wouldn't be until they saw the news and saw social media that they found out that he was actually found hanging. They also went on to say that they are pursuing an independent investigation because some things are not adding up and they are not being told everything.
Exactly what happened to their child that they entrusted to Delta State University. As we move forward, we're just looking for answers that a simple camera on the university's campus will answer.
Now, I 100% agree. Y'all need to show some camera footage or something to show this family what actually took place. Not only that, Trey had just started going to this college. Where is the camera footage showing him going to that court? Receipt showing that he bought something to do this to himself with. How did he climb the tree in order to get up there to do this? Was there a chair found or something that he stood on? To immediately rule out foul play when there are so many other factors that could have taken place is just absolutely crazy to me. And I personally don't blame the family for wanting to do their own independent investigation. Investigators are also denying the claims that he had broken bones, and family members are saying that they did not actually put that information out. But y'all, I'm gonna be completely real with you. I don't think Trey did this to himself. I was going down a rabbit hole. I was looking at his social medias. Trey was a very emotional person, but he was a very passionate person as well. He also came off to me as a person who was very strong-willed and wanted to keep going in life. And every time that Trey would doubt himself or feel like he wasn't enough, his family and friends will always come in and reassure him. And I just honestly feel like they need to investigate this more. Now, y'all, comment below and let me know your thoughts on this update.